a tantalizing combination tonight for the Red Hawks.
Oh, should be a great one here tonight. And for Georgia, one of the keys is going to be that matchup with the big fella in the middle.
Absolutely. They're going to have to deal with his size. They're going to have to deal with his quickness.
Terrific officiating crew tonight. Orlandis Poole tosses it up along with Doug Shows and Keith Kimball. And here we go. It'll be Mabry working it between the circles. That is number 3, Julian Lewis, considered the Red Hawks' top defender. Tries to get it inside, and it's Georgia out and running with Roberts. The high-flying Oquindo loses the handle. And speaking of the top defender, excellent hustle back there from Lewis.
Yeah, this is a good job getting back in the break. They had a low seal here, couldn't get a good pass, but did a good job of getting back here and turning the ball over.
So Miami lost a tough one in its opener, 78-74 to Evansville. Lewis was hurt and missed the game. They really feel like if he would have been able to play, that might have made the difference.
Yeah, Lewis is a key contributor for them. Had great experience there at William & Mary, and they're definitely a guy that they need to have success if they want to have success tonight.
So you got MEKHI Larry there, number 2, the point guard. He's in the top 10 and a bevy of statistical categories. And there's the big guy, Mirambeau. Nice cutback, and the shot won't go for Mabry. Georgia catches a break there. Dogs off and running with Roberts. In a 10-point loss, his plus-minus was +9 against Wake Forest. Freshman Kyron Lindsey. There's McBride. 3-ball is good, and it was McBride who got Georgia up and running in that second half in Winston-Salem Friday.
Good ball movement, good man movement right there. Georgia was able to get a little strong side action and find McBride for the 3.
There's the big guy, Mirambeau. They try and go back cut, and it's McBride active on the defensive end. Georgia on the run with Roberts. Here's McBride again, a native of Augusta. Mirambeau shows out high. Dogs working the perimeter with Oquindo. A double against Anselm. Open 3, Roberts got it.
Again, just great ball movement on the strong side of the court, and everybody holding it too long. It's a good formula for consistent offensive success so far for Georgia.
That legendary Hall of Fame Georgia coach Hugh Durham would always say, I got shooters, I need makers. Well, Georgia's had 2 makers so far, and it's 6-0 Dogs. Roberts trying to jump up there. Lewis able to maintain control. See if they try and get it to the big fella down on the blocks.
Like a little Princeton action right here, really trying to emphasize a little laziness on defense, get a back cut.
Second pass in, Mirambeau working in, and he shuffles the feet. A turnover here for Miami.
A little anxious on his feet right there, but clearly doing his best to try to get early position. Something Georgia's going to have to address as this game goes on.
Good defense there from Larry, up on Roberts. There's Oquindo, the high flyer. Roberts with a screen from Anselm, who pops out high. 11 to shoot. Georgia with the ball, up by 6. They double Oquindo. Lewis matching up against Georgia's top returning scorer. Good spin move there from Roberts. The shot won't go. Oquindo with the follow, and he'll shoot a pair.
Oquindo just did a good job there, having a nose for the ball. Following up.
So Lewis with the first foul of the game.
So far, a good mix on offense for Georgia. Got some rhythm jump shots combined with some close shots at point-blank range. Makes for a good combination early in the game.
If Georgia can hit from the outside early, one of the many benefits is opening things up on the inside.
Yeah, without a doubt. Georgia wants to try to play fast. They want to try to get a lot of rhythm with the ball and let their offense move without too much dribbling. So doing a good job of that thus far.
7-0 Dogs, 8-0 Dogs. Good stroke there from Oquindo. He hits them both.
And here you go here early. We talked about that man pressing the opener, and you see they've already jumped in and tried to get at it early.
Mabry off the inbounds, pushing it ahead. Billy Smith for 3 off the back iron. It won't go. Rebound tipped and tipped. Smith trying to keep it alive. And it's Georgia with big Anselm on the run, and the foul will go against Larry.
No clear path there, but good job by Frank Anselm, just being aggressive on defense and keeping the pressure pushed down the entire time.
See Georgia out and running off that loose ball. Anselm, a good job just maintaining possession there. And by the way, Miami, without one of its top players, Morgan Safford, who is banged up. They've got a talented freshman, Kamari Williams, that they expect to have back soon. And we'll see for Georgia, Marcus, if M.A. Moncrief is able to play. He missed the game against Wake Forest, rolled his ankle in the season open.
Yeah, absolutely. M.A. Moncrief is going to be a big player.
Oh, Anselm, alley-oop, 10-zip Dogs, and a timeout for the Red Hawks.
Great energy here by the Dogs to start the game. We're talking about M.A. Moncrief. He's going to be an excellent player for the Dogs. They're missing his energy out on the floor. But both teams here are challenged tonight with injuries.
So Georgia with that 10-0 lead. And there you see Terry Roberts taking us to the timeout. The little slam jam on the SEC Network. There's the big guy, Marimbo, pitching it out to Lewis on the right wing. Lewis with the dribble drive, holds it up high and uses the square.
That was a fantastic finish there by Lewis. Again, a guy that they missed early this season. It's a strong left-hand drive here to get Miami of Ohio on the board.
And when you got that early deficit, Marcus, step one, just go ahead and get on the scoreboard. And the lob doesn't work this time. Lindsey able to maintain possession. Here's Oquindo inside the arc. Gets cut off there by Lewis. The freshman Lindsey with the left hand.
Great touch there, good pass there, good play making there by Oquindo as well.
Lindsey didn't score in the season opener, but got double digits in Winston-Salem.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, Georgia here is committed to extending pressure out, looks like the entire first half. Making it difficult for the Red Hawks to get into some actions here.
And here's Larry, out to the big guy, Marimbo. Marimbo with a duck and a drive and a powerful move.
A little bit more nimble than you'd expect, Jeff. It was a great rip-through move. Fantastic move for a guy tipping the scales at 305 pounds.
Light on his feet. Reminds me a little bit of Glenn Big Baby Davis, great player from LSU, as Roberts misfires on the three. Smith tips the rebound for Georgia. Oquindo almost goes down, and he'll shoot two when we return. Now we go to an official timeout. 15:32 to go first half. Dogs by 8 on the SEC Network. I'm Jeff Dantzler. Marcus, let's talk recipes. Thanksgiving's just around the corner. Little core coming back, 7 transfers, 2 freshmen, and a first-year head coach.
Yeah, I think that's a good recipe these days. I mean, we talk about the transfer portal, so the 9 newcomers isn't something new, but returning 61% of your scoring output is a good place to start for a team with a new head coach.
Terry Roberts amongst those newcomers averaged over 14 a game at Bradley. He could be the straw that stirs the drink for the Dogs this season.
Yeah, I think so. He's one of the more experienced and productive players at his last stop. And, leading at the point guard position, I think he's a guy who's going to make a tremendous impact this season for the Bulldogs.
And this is going to be big, too. Oquendo hit his first 2 free throws with his athleticism. He's going to get to the stripe a lot. Marcus, if he can consistently hit for the line, that's a big lift for these Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's a guy, if he, a productive player last year, but if he can continue to shoot it well, and again, like you said, get to the line, he's a guy that can really, really continue to raise his stock as a player as we get through the season.
I think what stands out, too, for Oquendo, he was averaging 12 a game, then went up to 18 per game in league play. Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that, again, he was a junior college guy before getting University of Georgia and kind of found his stride and caught up with the speed of play and was really able to, make a dent in that SEC season last year.
Bryson Tatum, number 4, into the lineup for Miami. Little back cut there for Larry. Can't control it, out of bounds, and Doug Chowns points Georgia's way.
Again, Miami trying to consistently hit the Bulldogs with some back cut action and just haven't been able to get the passes accurate thus far.
Travis Steele in his first season had a good record at Xavier. That was a big hire there for Miami's athletics director, David Saylor, as the 18-footer won't go, and the weak side rebound is pulled down by Eli Yofan. Here's Larry cutting in, left elbow. He'll draw the foul from Oquendo, and 2 free throws on the way.
Yeah, Larry there just deciding to be aggressive, kind of go there and draw some contact. Good move by him. His first trip to the free throw line.
And if you're Miami, you're coming south after the shoot around today, they were saying, oh my gosh, it's nice to get some good weather down here. Oh my gosh, it's freezing. Are you kidding me?
Right, meanwhile, us fellow Georgians are not quite agreeing with that, but I can understand. I understand how cold it gets in Ohio this time of year.
Well, the lefty Larry hits the first, averaged 12 a game last year, 4.5 assists, 91.5 from the foul line last season. Just terrific.
Yeah, terrific free throw shooter. Being able to shoot 90-plus clip over the course of the season is a tremendous, tremendous feat. So,
and for a guy like Larry, for Georgia fans, you can think back to J.J. Frazier, the smaller players, their whole lives, their whole career, they've had to work to create that space to get open.
Yeah, you read my mind there, Jeff, seeing him here up this left-hand stroke. That definitely reminded me of young J.J. Frazier there. And again, that chip on his shoulder. And
see if this is an over and back. Now they're going to say that Larry touched it.
They have missed one there.
Justin Hill and Terry Roberts, both point guards in for Georgia, along with Braylon Bridges, number 23, led the SEC in field goal percentage a year ago.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, Miami's definitely turned up the heat there. They're playing with a different bend in their stance now, trying to create some pressure.
And we got a whistle away from the ball.
Looks like a double foul.
So we'll have to sort this one out. And a few words being exchanged here.
A little chippy early. I think that's just a raise in the competition level. It's good to see.
It's the officials are going to say, just simmer down now, simmer down, and you get all this worked out. So I believe Bridges for Georgia. And Larry picks up his second. So that is a tough break there. Larry and Lewis both with 2 fouls. And that's the little guy getting in there against, Georgia's tallest player. Little shoulder, little forearm.
I'll tell you what, Larry stood his ground right there. I don't think Bridges liked that very much, but just one of those things that happens when you have 2 guys competing at a high level.
So double foul. And are they going to go to the monitor to make sure nothing flagrant here? Or are we going to have a sub? Let's see. Trying to get everything sorted out here, and it's just going to be Georgia's possession. Perfect. Thank you, Doug Chowns. Double foul remaining with the offense. No reset on the shot clock. Doug's one of the best. Eder, Oquendo with a jump pass. Hill 3-ball. Good. That's a dagger triple.
Georgia shooting well here early. A lot of these passes are, in rhythm and the flow of the offense, and they've been able to get some good looks.
3 threes in the first 6 minutes of this game. And there's a lefty three by Yoden, no good. Smith with a rebound and a head fake. Bridges there to cut him off, so he'll hook it around for Mabry, who fires and misses a three. And a fight for this loose ball out of bounds. And they'll point Miami's way. Another good-looking freshman in Jaquel Morris into the Miami lineup.
A few new faces here for the Red Hawks. And I think there have been quite a few with three-point attempts thus far. I think they'd love to see one go down.
How about Hill, when you could get that three-pointer with one on the shot clock?
You don't get those as often as you think. It's obviously, but still a product of good, ball movement by the Dogs.
Here's Smith, who had 6 steals last time out. Out into the corner, and a whistle. Eli Yofan, a 6'2 freshman out of Pittsburgh. And a foul on Georgia. And Braylon Bridges whistled for his second foul. So 3 players with 2 fouls, 2 for Miami and 1 for Georgia.
6 minutes into the action and 8 fouls already. I think that's a sign of the kind of game there is to come. It's going to be a physical game tonight.
And I think you hit it there, Marcus. Miami, after falling behind 10-0, shook off any jitters or any rust. And they've gone toe-to-toe with Georgia since.
Yep.
Bryson Tatum, sophomore from Urbana, Illinois, on the back cut, gets open, and Lindsey gets a hand on it. Excellent help defense. And it looked like that was going to be 2 for Miami.
I'll tell you what, it's been night and day from the first media timeout. This has turned into a physical game. Both sides playing with a lot of toughness.
And Juice Holt can't control that one for Georgia. Just started to peak a bit before he had it in hand.
Juice Holt, a guy that brings a lot of energy for the Dogs. Excited about his play thus far and the spark he's been able to bring off the bench.
We've talked about it a lot, Marcus. Both of these coaches trying to find the right combinations and blends.
Yeah, I think this is a thing that, it's not something that happens overnight. You don't get to game 3 or 4 and automatically know what your rotation is going to look like. That's something that they're going to continue to figure out as the season goes on, rather.
Mabry takes steps there. The turnover for Miami. That is the 6th of the night for the Red Hawks. Georgia with 2, so Miami going to obviously have to cut the turnovers down. Yeah, turnovers is going to definitely be one of those stats that always is going to kind of define the bottom line of the game. So it's definitely something Miami's going to want to do to continue to give themselves more opportunities to shoot the ball and score. Lindsey through the hands of Eder, out of bounds to Miami. Well, Lindsey's a good-looking freshman, isn't he?
He absolutely is. Talented freshman out of Denton, Texas. And he's a guy that the Bulldogs are going to be excited about.
And both of these teams excited about their early signing classes. A couple of excellent recruiters in Travis Steele and Mike White. Here's Tatum.
These are guys that have, recruited at a high level at different stops.
And that's going to be an offensive foul against Morris. Now Miami pulling in 2 of the most highly rated prospects for their program in the last 10 years. And Georgia with a couple of top 100 players coming in. There you see freshmen just leads. Once you get past 90 degrees with a forearm, pretty easy for the officials.
Yeah, pretty easy call for the officials. We talked about turnovers earlier. It looks like it's become an epidemic here. We have both teams turning it over on what looks like back-to-back possessions. So we need to get settled down here and kind of find their pace.
Would you like me to break out a little geometry there with a 90-degree angle?
I like how you work that in, Jeff.
Here's Hill for Georgia. They try and double out high. Dogs get it back to McBride. 12-12 to go, 12 to shoot. Nice feed underneath and the easy finish. Kyron Lindsey.
Nice pass there by Hill.
And Hill can probe. Tell you what, too, Hill, number 11 for Georgia, listed at 6 foot. Now he's got a tailback's legs.
Yeah, that's right. When you have a thick lower body and can take the hits, nobody really notices that you're 6 foot. It becomes an advantage then with the low center of gravity.
And this is tipped out of bounds by Holt. Miami will have possession when we return. There's 11:39 to go in half number 1. It's Georgia by 13 on the SEC Network.
For climbing, for towing, for capable, the premium and capable. That's professional. Or get 3.9% APR finance payments until 2023 on
Academy Sports and Outdoors have fun Christmas ever. From gigs to team sports, Adidas and Under Armour, golf, everybody covered this holiday. From everyone at Academy Sports.
The University of Georgia, there you see Jabri Abdur-Rahim, who began his career at the University of Virginia after the horrible tragedy today at UVA, and schools across the country standing in unison with the University of Georgia. And our hearts and our thoughts and our prayers go out to everyone associated with the university in Charlottesville. And Marcus, just a horrible tragedy today.
Absolutely devastating. Just thoughts and prayers with the University of Virginia family, the administration, the students, all involved, the families involved. It's just been a terrible, 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 terrible day thus far. We're learning this news.
11:39 to go. It is Georgia 19 and Miami 6. Georgia led 10-0. Miami able to cut into that lead, got within 8, and the Georgia lead now back to 13, out in double digits. Only 7 to shoot now. Gonna have to hurry. Mabry down the left baseline. The clock strikes 0. Let's talk a little Georgia defense real quick. When the freshman for Miami, Morris, lowered the shoulder and committed the charge, Jackson Eder drew it. Marcus, you gotta love this one. Eder, 3 in 3 games. 33 charges drawn in Georgia's last 34 games.
One of my old coaches used to always tell me, taking charges isn't just by incident, it's a skill. And so seeing Jackson Eder take 3 is not by incident. He's a guy that commits to it, gets his body in place. We saw that at the last game.
How about the little floater there from Roberts?
Nice.
And here's Tatum again. So brings it down.
Georgia doing a really good job extending pressure here. They've made it uncomfortable for Miami to get it up the floor all night.
Bulldogs with their biggest lead. It's Georgia by 15. Mirambo, the big fella, working in. The baby hook goes.
Sky hook there, reminiscent of the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We've seen a couple of nice things from Mirambo here early.
Greatest weapon in the history of sports.
Amen.
7'2", from one of the all-time greats, the sky hook.
Very good.
It was blocked one time by one player, Manute Bull. McBride, right wing 3, won't go. Georgia strong side rebound and a fresh 20. Eder with a screen from Anselm, pick and roll. Dogs go to the right corner. There's a head fake from McBride, under 10 to shoot. Anselm, that won't go, and Billy Smith in for the rebound. Miami with Mabry heading back.
Miami looking to get going here and find something on offense. Mirambo has been a consistent weapon for him thus far. We'll see if they go to him here. Sweet spot in the high post.
Oh, nice job on the back cut, but Mabry can't finish. Oh, that's another in-close look, and he's kicking himself. Here's Juice Holt finding Roberts with a head fake. It's cut off by Mirambo. McBride for 3. It's good. Georgia is taking and making from distance tonight.
Their drive and kick game's been really good tonight. They've just consistently been able to get it into the middle of the paint and dish out and knock down shots.
Georgia 4 out of 6 from 3, and that one won't go. Redhawks maintain possession. Smith with a head fake.
Excellent hustle there by Jackson Etta.
And Marambo won't trickle over it in. So Georgia with the ball up 16. Dogs hit just 2 threes and 13 tries in the first half in Winston-Salem. 4 out of 6 thus far this evening. Make it 4 out of 7.
A little bit of a quick trigger there by Terry Roberts, but can't blame them as well as they've been shooting it tonight.
Yofan with a dribble drive. Back cut again to Smith. Double team, just loses a handle. Loose ball being batted around, and Georgia's got it with Etter.
It's been a staple of this offense thus far. They just hadn't been able to capitalize on some of the good back cuts they've had.
So Georgia with the ball in a 24-8 lead. Terry Roberts to his left. Roberts off to a good start. Goes for McBride. Right wing 3 for the left-hander won't go. Tatum.
Didn't get that one. Still a good drive and kick there by Georgia, sticking to a consistent theme tonight. Great penetration early on.
Tatum coming to his left. Mirambo back to the bucket. Backing it out. Good pass out high to Mabry, who fakes. Yofan. Dribble drive against a double team. Beautiful feed. Mirambo's got 6 points.
Mirambo with 6 out of 10. He's been one of the bright spots thus far for Miami.
When I first saw his name of that size, I wanted to call him Mirambo. And they said, no, it's Mirambo, but he's such a nice kid. He said, oh, you can call me whatever you want. I said, no, we're going to call you by the way your name is pronounced.
Absolutely.
But Mirambo.
Yeah, it's a fitting name. And again, he's one of the most polarizing players out here tonight, and definitely a productive player for the Red Hawks.
Etter's 3-ball no good. And it'll be Miami possession. And with that, we'll have an official timeout. Under 8 to go. We're in Athens. And it's the homestanding Dogs out in front of Miami. 24-10 on SEC Network.
It's on Vivid Seats. You get the 11th ticket will be living rent-free in a hockey player's head.
Make some noise!
With DirecTV, I can get live TV, Housewives, football, Housewives.
Whoops.
Keep the housewives are on the field.
Get your TV together. Call 1.
Basketball.
Absolutely. They've been able to share it really well thus far, and have been able to hit 4 out of 9 3-pointers, off to a good start there.
Miami sometimes getting that first one to go can be contagious. The Georgia pressure, Marcus, I think has had some effect on Miami just getting into their half-court sets.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's having that much effect to the natural eye, but As you can see, they just had a lot of trouble. A lot of times they're getting in their offense and there's 20 seconds, 18 seconds left on the clock. So it's definitely had an impact.
I want to touch on something real quick as Larry gets down inside the arc. Mirambeau back it in, getting physical with a head fake. Hook shot over Bridges, no good. Bridges with the rebound. Those great Florida National Championship teams with Joakim Noah and Al Horford as Hill drives and floats. And this one will go out of bounds, 2. Georgia will keep it. We'll wait on the official signal. But Marcus, with Noah and Horford, those guys that rip the rebound, they bring it down the floor. They're in their half-court set. There's 26 on the shot clock, and you got to defend 5 All-Stars for a long time.
Yeah, they definitely, obviously, a 35-second clock there. You got guys that can get it down the court. Give yourself 28 minutes to run offense. It's much easier to find that good shot.
How about little Larry, just a little bit too strong, and here's McBride to the trailer, and that's going to be a foul on Yofan.
And I'll tell you what, didn't look like an opportunity for transition then, but McBride pushing the pace was able to get a foul drawn.
And it was McBride who brought the energy in the second half for Georgia. Wake Forest has got a heck of a team. They were up by 23. It was rocking at the Joel on Friday night, but McBride hit a couple of threes. So Quindo will knock this one down.
And the rain continues here for the Dogs. They've been able to shoot it well and had multiple players getting off to a good start from the three-point line.
5th tray in 10 tries for the Bulldogs. Georgia by 17. Mirambeau on the right baseline, backing in against Bridges. Good pass on the back cut. In too deep for Lewis. Left corner, Smith, it's good.
We're finally getting to see one go in there. Be a good sign for the Redhawks as this game goes on.
Quindo.
Just got to see one go in.
Wow, through traffic, hangs and delivers.
A nasty hang layup right there. Quindo showing off his strength and athleticism.
Lewis. The Redhawks down by 16. Just over 6 to play here in the first half. Yofan, pick and roll and a switch. Here's Larry from 15, good.
Larry getting in the mix here. He's been aggressive here the last few possessions, and always good to see one go.
So 29-15, the Georgia lead is 14, and Marcus, you know what the Redhawks are thinking. Can we get this thing to 10 at the half?
Yeah, absolutely, and the turnover is always a good place to start.
Lewis, nice pass. Yofan, Lewis gets it back. Maybe a little bit of overpassing. The Redhawks will keep it there.
I'll tell you what, Yofan right there may have seen the film from a couple games ago. Quindo with a few chase down blocks. He made sure to get it out of his hand right there. Didn't want to risk it.
Yeah, he had 3 of those against Western Carolina, Georgia's season opening victory.
We'll see great athletes go a whole season and get 3 of those. So it just goes to show you what kind of athlete he can be.
I'll tell you, Georgia's got an incredible track and field program. Quindo, I'm thinking high jump, long jump, triple jump, you name it.
Anything with a jump in it. He's a good fit.
Here's Larry, the right baseline. Yofan, the lefty, a little Gervin-esque finger roll.
Very smooth there. Got Larry here picking up full court. It looks like they want to get ready to try to extend some pressure here and see if they can't make Georgia uncomfortable the same way that the Bulldogs have done to the Redhawks.
7-2 Miami run, and now a chance to cut it to 10.
Back-to-back turnovers there.
Here's Larry. When Mike White was talking about the Wake Forest loss, the turnovers, not getting on the defensive boards. Larry for 3, he gets another one, and it's down to single digits.
Just like that, 10-2 run there for the Redhawks, and all of a sudden this looks like a game. 9-point lead.
Boy, Larry, known as a streaky shooter, well, he's on a hot streak right now.
Yeah, Larry, I think he's just decided that he's going to take it into his own hands. He's going to be aggressive. We've seen him shoot 3 out of the last 5 possessions. He's been aggressive.
I like the little step back. That's pure, Marcus.
Yeah, absolutely. It reminds me of a 5'9" left-handed guy I used to know.
J.J. Frazier.
That's right.
So Georgia led 27-10. The 10-2 Miami run. And the Georgia lead down to 9. And a terrific matchup here. SEC against the MAC. And Miami with the most championships and the best winning percentage in MAC history, trying to make that push back up to the top of the league. There you see Larry, 2 out of 3. And sometimes, Marcus, with those smaller players, they can affect the dribble. We saw it with Western Carolina too, just getting underneath if there's a taller point guard.
Yeah, Russell Jones Jr. for Western Carolina wreaked havoc on the Bulldogs opening night. And
a nice move there by Robert. Shot won't go, but Anselm's stick that won't go either. And Smith rips down the rebound.
They're off and running now with some confidence. And Redhawks like a different team the last few minutes.
Nice feed inside. The kick out.
Nice stroke there
for Lewis. Was Morris surprised he was that open?
I think
the freshman should have just gone up with that one, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's been a game with a lot of turnovers so far for the Redhawks, so a little unsure, but they seem to be picking up the pace here.
Oquendo, the 3 won't go. Smith with another rebound. He's got a good floor game. Averaging 7.5 boards. Larry flying in. Abdur Rahim with the trailer block. Eder out and running against Smith. The drive, the floater good, and the foul.
Nice move there by Jackson Eder. Was able to gather himself, take it right to the body, and get a finish there. Now gets a chance to get 3 the old-fashioned way, Jeff.
So Eder will be stepping to the strike. That foul on Smith, his first. Georgia by double digits again. Good one tonight on the SEC Network.
For climbing, for towing, for capable. The premium and capable. That's professional. Or get 3.9% APR finance payments until 2023 on
And on demand together. Football housewives.
The housewives are on the field. I repeat.
Who flips the table?
800 DirecTV to save up to
Georgia with a 30. Bulldogs getting it done from distance.
They're able to get it going earlier, just moving the ball on perimeter. McBride there knocking it down, and then swinging it cross court, finding Justin Hill for a knockdown 3 right there. We got Terry Robbins right here, right slot spot, able to knock it down. McBride again. They've just been shooting it well here earlier, shooting it with a lot of confidence, moving the ball well around the perimeter.
Georgia with 8 assists on 11 field goals, and Marcus, 4 different Georgia players have hit a 3 tonight. That's spreading it around nicely.
Yeah, I think it's just a product of, again, great pace, great ball movement, and they've just been able to have some confidence here early. See if they can continue it on throughout the game.
So here is Jackson Eder trying for the old-fashioned 3-point play. Just under 4 to go in the first half. Eder tickles the twine, and now Georgia scored 4 straight. Bulldogs lead by a dozen. My math is bad. 5 straight. I spent all that energy on the geometry earlier. 27-32. Yeah, that's still 5 to get there.
Georgia squeezing the floor a little bit, trying to get into passing lanes, and stop some of this cutting action, trying to shrink the floor a little bit.
Here's Morris, and there's a cut to Smith in traffic. Extends and can't finish. There's Larry sneaking in. Good pass right wing. Mabry for 3, no good. Smith got held, and Georgia got a break. Oquendo. Roberts going left. Abdur-Rahim at her.
Got the Red Hawks in a little zone right here, trying to slow down some of this action for the Bulldogs.
Georgia passing across the zone. Roberts sets the feet for three. That one goes in and out. Larry gets tied up there with Abdur-Rahim and a foul on the Georgia junior.
Good ball movement there. Just missed another three there for the Bulldogs.
And that's just a tough break there for Georgia. Looked like it was going down. Good stroke.
Nice stroke there by Terry Roberts.
There you see Mike White in his first season at the Georgia helm.
Mike White and Travis Steele here for the Red Hawks, coming off 5 years at Xavier. Very experienced coach.
So 2 first-year head coaches, and the program's heading in the right direction. Also 2 outstanding athletic directors, Josh Brooks for Georgia. I mentioned earlier David Saylor for Miami made the trip. An old roommate of mine when he worked at Georgia back in the 1990s.
Yeah, absolutely. The world gets smaller.
It does. And Josh, so impressed with Coach White. Abdur-Rahim with the dribble drive. Blocked from behind. Nice play by the freshman Morris.
Yeah, the intensity's picked up here for the Red Hawks, being a little bit more physical.
Lewis to Larry, all net.
I tell you what, Larry has come out and decided he was going to be one of the ones to lead the charge. He's been impactful here in the second part of the second half.
Hey, Marcus, I like this too. Now, who knows, they might pick up another foul. Travis Steele, both Lewis and Larry, as that one will go to Larry, to Lewis. Lewis with a spin move in the lane, won't go, rebound to Eder. They both picked up 2 fouls. Georgia started stretching the lead, and I think a smart roll of the dice to get them back into the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anselm, second crack at it, draws a foul.
Good job trying to keep it high there with the rebound. And gave himself opportunity to be fouled with that.
Mabry out of Balmari, New Jersey, picks up his first, and 2 free throws coming here for Anselm. Inverted score, 32-23. Well, if you're Miami, I think 2 things, Marcus. If they can get to the locker room down by single digits and not get another foul, a third on either Larry or Lewis.
Yeah, no, those are going to be 2 huge things for them, getting away and getting out of this half without 3 fouls on any of their key contributors. Huge. And then obviously, if they can keep this in striking distance, keeping it in single digits, I think that'll give them some confidence going into the locker room for sure, Jeff.
Mirambeau back in, and McBride returns for Georgia's. Abdur-Rahim will sit. See Anselm. Misses the second one. Mabry with the rebound. So the Georgia lead is 10 with 103 seconds to go at half number 1. Mirambeau back it in to Lewis at the foul line. Larry for a 3. He gets another one.
I'm telling you, with every passing shot, he's looking more and more familiar. That left-hand stroke is going. This is his 3rd 3 of the half.
And no doubt, as this season goes along, you know, the big man, Mirambeau, is going to draw a lot of attention. That's going to open some things up on the outside. The Georgia lead down to 7. Oquendo with a jump pass too far. Last touch by Georgia. So it'll be Miami possession.
Blink here, and here we are. So Red Hawks down 7.
Marcus, it was 10-0 Georgia out of the gates. It was 27-10 Georgia, and now Miami within 7 with the ball.
Well, Miami just made a decision here sometime around the 8-minute mark that they were going to be aggressive, and they've turned up the tempo, they've turned up the physicality, and they've been able to make Georgia uncomfortable, get some turnovers, knock down some shots, and a flash of the eye, here they are down 7 with the opportunity to get it to a 2-score game.
MEKHI Larry, 13 points, 3 3-point field goals. Minute to go in half number 1. Billy Smith back for Larry. At the hash, lob it for the big fella, tipped away, a steal by Georgia. Nice job, Bridges on the overplay. McBride, beautiful feed, and Eder will step to the line.
Yeah, second time we see McBride really push the tempo there in transition and give his teammate an opportunity to draw a foul.
Bad news, Miami. That was Lewis's 3rd.
Yeah, one of the keys we talked about, and one they certainly weren't looking for there. I'm sure that's one he would like to have back. But just playing hard, and sometimes playing hard will incur a foul.
So here's Eder with 48 seconds. Excellent free throw shooter. So Eder now with 4 points for the Dogs.
Jordan playing well offense, defense here, just trying to keep Braylon Bridges out of getting that third foul. Brings Frank Anselm back in.
And Holt will come in for Eder, who now has 5 and is 3 out of 3 at the line. Well, if you're Georgia, watch out for number 2.
Yeah, number 2's been an impact player tonight. He's had energy, and he's been one of the Red Hawks who's been fighting and trying to get this to an even game coming in halftime. Look at him now. Wow.
Climbs the ladder. Little guy had to go to the top step, but he finishes at the rim. 15 points from MEKHI LAIRY.
Yeah, he's really been getting after it here, and I'm telling you, every time he makes a play, he looks a little bit taller and taller and taller.
By the way, first half Friday night, Davian Williamson, excellent guard for Wake Forest, had 15 points in the first half. It's back-to-back games, and opposing guards hung 15 on Georgia.
Yeah, not a good sign. They're definitely going to have to guard. And he's been a guy who's been able to get it going here in the last few minutes.
Roberts, Holt at the buzzer, good!
Yeah, excellent ball movement there with the hockey assist.
Larry for 3 at the buzzer off the iron, no good. Oh my goodness. It looked for a moment, Marcus, that Georgia might have overpassed, but
in competition, close with a 10-point lead for the Dogs.
Well, Georgia terrific from 3, 6 of 13, 4 of 10 for Miami. Larry, as Marcus mentioned, doing most of the heavy lifting, 3 out of 4 from distance.
Yeah, you see him right here. He's on the ball, ready to make an impact on the defensive end.
If Georgia can essentially get a 2 for none, Juice Holt hit a trade to end the first half. Nice pass from Lindsey. Oquindo on the right wing. That won't go, but Georgia on the offensive window, and Lindsey draws the foul. He'll shoot a pair.
Great rebound.
Oh, my goodness. Lewis just got his 4th foul.
Oh, man.
Ouch. Oh, my goodness. 22 seconds into the second half.
This one you got to be cautious of. You knew coming out of here that you had 3 fouls. You can't afford to get a cheap one right there. Do your work before the shot hits the board.
Greatest sin in basketball, not rebounding defensively.
Yep.
As Lindsey hits the first. I was impressed with Lindsey, Marcus. In the first game, he didn't score. He averaged 25 a game in high school. Still had 6 rebounds, played good defense. We got into double digits against Wake Forest. A lot of times, and I don't know if you were ever there, when you're a highly touted freshman and the shots aren't falling, well, maybe that defense, maybe that rebounding falls off a little bit. Not for Lindsey. And there's Roberts, but he misses the dunk.
Wow, simple two-hander. Oh, here we go.
Turnover.
Able to get it back.
Scores.
2 straight steals there for Roberts.
Well, that's just a stat sheet stuffer.
Yeah.
And how about Coach Travis Steele rolling the dice, just staying with Lewis. There he is with the 4 fouls.
At this point, they're trying to play to win, and they know Lewis is a guy they have to have on the court in order to be effective in that regard.
Roberts on the hash. Nice little spin move past Mabry. Oquindo with the drive. He hangs and misses, and the rebound is saved into Georgia with Mabry. Mabry on the run from 15, good. That's one of those you better make it. None of his teammates were back.
Yeah, absolutely nobody back. But again, Jordan didn't have any pressure on him there. Just let him kind of comfortably dribble up the court. You know, almost a warm-up shot for him.
Georgia by a dozen. Bridges with 16 to shoot. Pick and roll. McBride right corner 3. Left-hander misses this one. Lewis with the 4 fouls to the boards. His second defensive rebound. Lewis going to drive. Left corner, Mabry 3 off the mark. Dogs with Oquindo in transition. Stripped from behind by Lewis.
Good hustle there from Lewis. Risky move there. Could have been foul number 5, but he's able to get away with it.
Mabry loses a handle. Touchdown by Georgia.
Juice Holt checking in here.
That 3 that Holt hit right at the shot clock buzzer just under 4 seconds ago, that had to take a little wind out of Miami's sails.
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, you're hustling hard trying to get a stop in your last possession, and you give one up at 1 on the shot clock. It's going to take some wind out of you. Larry
from inside the arc misfires. Miami fell behind 10-0, and Georgia with another hot start here in the second half. Roberts will step to the line with a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Strong take there by Terry Roberts. He was able to make a couple moves and take it downhill.
Boy, Roberts, just every time down, gets more and more comfortable.
That was the one right there, Julian Lewis. I was concerned with that one. That could have been foul number 5, but he's able to get away with it. Terry Roberts, again, strong finish, getting 3 the old-fashioned way.
Billy Smith whistled for his second, as Roberts does indeed knock it down. So between the bevy of three-point field goals by Georgia, and the Bulldogs are 6 of 15 from beyond the arc, Georgia's also had 3 old-fashioned three-point plays.
You look at that free throw advantage. You talk about 12 free throw attempts to 2, 10 extra attempts at the rim that the Bulldogs have been able to get. A huge advantage there.
Lewis stumbling a bit, spins in the lane. Mirambeau powering it up good. Not only is he light on his feet, he's got very good touch around the iron.
Yeah, he was able to displace Bridges there pretty easily. And no shame to Bridges. Mirambeau's going to be a guy that's going to be hard to deal with physically.
Roberts for Bridges. Back to Roberts. I don't think the freshman was ready for that pass. It's a turnover for Georgia.
Almost too close there for him to get control of it, but good idea by Roberts.
So Miami will bring it down. It's Georgia by 13.
They're going to look to get Mirambeau here. What do you know?
Middle block, backing it down against Bridges. He flings it up, and we wait on the call. This is going to be on the floor, and Bridges whistled for his third. Georgia get Justin Hill in and Anselm as Bridges will leave.
You see him here. They run a little action here. It's a wrap around to get him a clean post up, and he's just physical. Tries to go through the chest of Bridges and able to draw a foul. Bridges, with his hands down low, able to catch him there.
They're going to put 20 on the shot clock. By the way, that was a great rule, first on the international circuit, when you get the offensive board, not to get the full reset.
Yeah.
Keeps the pace moving.
Yeah,
Billy Smith for 3, misfires, and Mirambeau can't control the rebound. Lewis does. Smith a second chance at 3. This one's good.
Defensive rebounding, allowing offensive rebound hurts you there.
Billy Smith with his second three-point field goal, and it's a 10-point game. Georgia 45, Miami 35. Anselm pivots out for Hill. Hill with the penetration. Holt with the drive. Hill with a fake. Larry up on him, 10 to shoot. Good defense by the fifth-year senior. A show out high. Holt with the drive. Gets in deep and scores with a reverse layup.
Excellent seal there by Tyrone Lindsey.
5 points for Holt. Well executed and down to the end of the shot clock as well. Mirambeau back to the basket. Spins baseline and draws a foul.
Again, just easy displacement there by Mirambeau. Hard to deal with. I think Frank Anselm did a really good job of playing with his hands high, but hard to contain the big boy down there.
Mean streaks down on the low blocks. It's the Dogs by a dozen. Monday Night Basketball on the SEC Network. crowd program at Miami, 17. LAIRY, he's on a lot of the lists, one of the best ever suit up for Miami.
Yeah, he's looked really good here in the first half, 15 points and 3 threes, and he's trying to pick up where he's left off here in the second and get it going and spark the energy here for the Red Hawks.
Georgia with a 12-point lead over Miami, and the other end of the spectrum from 5'8", 145 to 6'8", 305. Anderson Mirambeau at the line. He had 27 points against Evansville, has 8 here this evening. And Marcus, I just got to think in MAC play, that duo, and they've got some other really good pieces. Miami's got a chance to make a lot of noise in the Mid-American Conference this season.
Yeah, without a doubt. Really good players there. They're missing one of their better players this evening as well. And they're going to compete and be a competitive team there in the MAC Conference for sure. Mirambeau showing some good touch here. His first trip to the free throw line, and definitely something they're looking to get more out of him.
You like the Big Baby Davis comparison there? Good touch, light on the feet?
You know, usually I would say a comparison like that's a light one, but he's definitely reminiscent of him. Obviously the size, but very light on his feet. Good touch. Good one. Another one that Big Baby doesn't get enough credit for.
It's down to 10. Georgia with the ball and the lead. McBride. Cut off there by Mabry, gets caught in the air. Here's Holt for 3, won't go. Georgia with the weak side rebound. Lindsey leaves it just short, and the big man with the board.
Lindsey's been active here on offensive glass, just hasn't been able to get that inside finish.
Lindsey with 4 offensive rebounds. Bang from 12 feet away, Ryan Mabry with his second basket, and Miami's within 8.
Mabry's loving that 12-foot range, his second one from that range.
Holt to Hill. Anselm with the screen. Hill's floater at the line, around the iron and through.
Yeah, it's good soft touch there by Hill.
Well, you said it in the first half, thicker, not real tall, but he could absorb those hits. You got to stay strong.
Absolutely, you see it here, his quads. This is a guy that definitely has that low center of gravity. It's hard to deal with. Speaking of,
Mirambeau too strong on that one. Holt wants to run. Good fake there by Hill. He draws a foul. This one will be on Bryson Tatum. Now, Holt also might lead the team in different hairstyles we're going to see this season. Went out to a couple of practices, and I think I've seen him maybe go with 4 or 5 different looks. I'm jealous of all the hair he's got.
Yeah, that's right. And the versatility and ability to switch it up is something I think we all can be envious of, huh?
It's the Dogs by 10. Roberts reverses to Oquendo.
Miami doing a good job of shrinking the floor here on defense.
Roberts, great head fake, can't finish. Second chance for Georgia, didn't draw any iron, only 5 to shoot. Roberts left open for 3, no good. That one didn't hit the iron either. So that'll be a shot clock violation and possession to the Red Hawks.
Rarely do you see a shot clock violation where there are 2 shot attempts in that possession.
Marcus,
drawing iron.
Going back to your playing days, collectively, is there anything that makes a coach happier than forcing the opposition into a shot clock violation?
I don't know if there's any one thing. I mean, people talk about momentum swifts, and you know, typically it's the dunk or the alley-oop, right? But you get a shot clock violation out there, or a 8-second front court violation, that'll change the momentum quickly.
LAIRY stumbling in. Georgia with the long arms able to knock that one away, and LAIRY very wisely. Have a playground play there, just whipped that one off of Roberts.
Yeah, no, good job saving it there by LAIRY. Definitely a smart-headed player.
Mike White across the floor shouting the defense. Just in too deep. So it'll be Yofan set to throw it in. Out high for Tatum. 15 to shoot for Miami. MEKHI LAIRY off a screen, dribble drive, nice kick. Left wing 3, Tatum won't go. Georgia on the run. Holt to the trailer. Roberts fakes the 3. McBride with the stroke. Won't go. And the rebound is tipped and Georgia controls. That's partially blocked. And a rebound to Miami's Morris. Nice job on the defensive end. Smith. Yofan 3. Too strong. Long rebound. Georgia controlling with Roberts. Both teams missing some 3-point looks. Nearing the 13-minute mark of this second half. Georgia leading Miami 49-39.
It's been a stalemate since half. Not a lot of movement on any side, not very many runs.
Well, Yofan with a steal. Georgia's back. Maybe something secondary transition. Didn't see the open man. There's Larry. Three, good.
And Miami feels alive. Has it back to single digits and has momentum swinging in their favor a little bit.
49-42, and a timeout called here by Georgia, and Larry just snuck into that left corner and knocked it down. It's 49-42, Dogs by 7. Larry from distance. Red Hawks on a run on the SEC Network.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watched it.
That's so you.
Of course you don't.
6 cents.
And a head-up display.
You brought so you.
It is.
At the heart of 3.99% APR for 7023 on these Buick SUV models.
And on demand together. Football, housewives.
Oh, no.
The housewives are in the field. I repeat.
Who flips the table?
800 DirecTV to save up to $100.
Oh, man.
49. One of Georgia's all-time greats, Marcus Thornton. Yours truly, Jeff Dantzler. Marcus ready for some math, my friend.
Absolutely, Jeff. Put it on me.
Georgia, 11 of 12 from the foul line. Miami, 4 of 4. 11 minus 4 equals 7. 49 minus 42 equals 7. That is the difference in the game right now.
That's right. We called that out earlier coming out of halftime, and that's been the difference. A little bit more physicality on Georgia's end has got them a 7-point lead. Otherwise, I think this is a stalemate.
And Miami outscoring Georgia in this second half. Dogs 0 for 5 from distance here in the second stanza.
Yeah, no, they haven't been able to get it going yet. Miami able to hit a 3 there to close the lead. So it'll be interesting to see if Georgia's able to get that 3 ball going here in the second half.
And I'm sure Mike White saying after that last flurry there, you got to locate Larry. You can't let him get that open in the corner.
Yeah, he's been a guy that's been a weapon here for the Red Hawks. Him and Mirabal, clearly the 2 guys that are going to carry the load offensively. So Georgia's going to have to do a better job of locating those guys and having a plan for when they're isolated.
So Miami with 3 timeouts remaining. Georgia with 2. Bulldogs inbounds for Holt, nearly a steal. A double team there on the side, and we have a foul. We do. And this is going to be, I believe, on Yofan.
Interesting. They kind of bailed him out there with a foul. Georgia didn't have a very good plan there getting the ball in bounds.
Jaquel Morris, 6'8 freshman. He's guarding Ed on the inbounds. He's a good-looking athlete, 21 for Miami.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see him there trying to hound the ball and create opportunity to force a turnover. Oh, man.
Oh, that's a breakaway. In stride, Larry the other way. He's got 20, and the Georgia lead is cut to 5. That is easy for the senior. This is
Miami
the closest.
Just playing with effort.
Indeed, this is the closest it's been. I mean, Georgia jumped out to a 10-0 lead. Miami's got it down to 5.
Yeah, just a different disposition for the Red Hawks right now compared to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs kind of have this upright posture, standing up, and the Red Hawks have dug down and gotten in a stance and forced back-to-back turnovers, and they're smelling blood right now.
So Yofan with his 3rd foul. And that is team foul number 5. Georgia's been whistled for just 2 thus far in the second half. One more to give before the Bulldogs are in the bonus. Boy, pressure again from Morris off the inbounds.
I mean, no inbound has been easy here for the Bulldogs.
No.
They've made it earn every single one. There you go.
Offensive foul on Roberts. And look who it is.
MEKHI LAIRY being an impact player here for the Red Hawks. He's been all over the floor, defensive end, offensive end, transition, shooting the ball. He's been an impact player here.
So when you've got the smallest guy on the floor playing with that kind of heart, that's got to give your team a huge infusion of energy.
We've seen it for 2 weeks now, Jeff. It really does, and I have the utmost respect for the smallest guys on the floor. They have to go through the most to get on the court to begin with. So MEKHI LAIRY certainly proven his worth now for the Red Hawks.
Larry to Smith. Money! And Miami's within 2.
And I mean, just a beautiful whip assist across. Man, beautiful pass there. MEKHI LAIRY just really making his mark on this game.
It's 49-47. Oquendo. Eder. Oquendo, lob underneath, tipped away. Miami can tie it with a 2. Yofan on the drive, loses a handle, and Georgia whistled for a reach with 11.5 minutes to go. Georgia's lead has been cut down to 2 points, and it's LAIRY making it happen. First with the 3, and then with a beautiful assist to Billy Smith. A tight one and a dandy right here on the SEC Network. Georgia leading by as many as 7. A barrage of 3-pointers. He's got 20 points, and the turnover bug, Marcus, biting the Bulldogs.
7 turnovers here in the first 8.5 minutes of the second half compared to 7 all the first half. Definitely led to the demise of the Bulldogs league, and they're finding themselves a little hole they're going to have to dig out of here, Jeff.
Mike White talked about it after the Wake Forest game, said this team has to do a better job of valuing the basketball.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's been a consistent theme we've seen in Game 3 and all the games prior here for the Bulldogs. Just keep taking care of the ball both halves.
That is tipped out on the inbounds. Georgia led 10-0, so Miami has not led, has not been tied, but down by 2. And LAIRY will throw it in with Holt jumping in front. Gets it to Tatum. Right corner, Smith for the lead, no good. And Hill with the Georgia rebound. Hill with a drive, backs it out. Holt fakes the 3. Reverse layup won't go. He'll shoot 2.
Yeah, Holt wanted that ball, had a plan for when he got an aggressive take there. And a good way to build some momentum is the free throw line.
That's a 3rd foul on Smith. I think a big thing for Georgia, actually, they get that. Pardon me, that was my mistake on Morris, his 2nd. So Juice Holt at the line. One thing for Georgia, and you know Mike White's got this on his to-do list. The Dogs are looking to get Bridges more involved offensively. You're talking about a very good scorer who led the SEC as his free throw is no good and field goal percentage a year ago. He's just not getting as many touches in his sweet spot as the Bulldogs would like.
Well, we know Braylon Bridges is certainly a right block guy, and wants to get to his left hand, and Miami just had a plan. They're not letting him get there, and Mirambo's been out there. They've been a good job of getting him off his spot and really worked for position.
The Georgia lead is 3. MEKHI, LAIRY, jump pass, left corner Tatum, nice fake, gets in deep and gets cut off, loses a handle, and Georgia comes up with a turnover. Dogs on the run with Hill, driving in, LAIRY with a strip and a foul, and the Dogs will shoot 2.
Good job of being aggressive, headed straight for the rim. Second straight trip to the free throw line here for Justin Hill.
And that is the 3rd foul on LAIRY. Hill just going in strong.
They're going to want to continue to be aggressive. You got Julian Lewis with 4 fouls, MEKHI, LAIRY with 3. And you're going to want to force these guys to have some foul trouble and have to make decisions in regard to whether they're going to play and be able to make it through the end of this game.
So Hill now with 7 points. And Lewis, Miami coaches feel like he's their top defender. He's had to miss a lot of time. Couple of makes there. Marcus, you hit on it too. Georgia and Miami obviously had the momentum, cutting it down to 2, but the Dogs driving, getting to the line.
Yeah, that's a good way to stave off a run, is to slow the game down. Let's get some free throw attempts, get the other team a little frustrated.
And here's LAIRY all the way in, and it goes.
You couldn't tell he was the smallest player on the court right there. Made a decisive move, used his offhand, and able to score there.
He's got 22. 52-49 Georgia. Now Hill driving in, tipped out. Dogs will maintain possession. Really good game here tonight. Dogs have led from the get-go, led by as many as 17. Miami getting as close as 2. The lead now for Georgia is 3. Georgia with possession. Bridges for Holt. Eder. Here's Hill with a drive. Floater in the lane, good. Tough move by Justin Hill.
Fantastic finish, aggressive drive, and Georgia's found the formula offensively they want to continue to use.
So Georgia's shortest player on the floor, following LAIRY's lead with a couple of free throws in a bucket.
Good ball movement there by the Redhawks.
Mabry from 18.
Guess who was on the assist there? MEKHI, LAIRY once again. He's been dicing him up this half and shows me fantastic court vision.
Just draws in a defense. Bridges. Little low pass there for Hill. That's out of bounds. Georgia maintained possession. Quick hands.
Mentality, mindset. MEKHI, LAIRY willing the Redhawks in the competition in this game. Great drive there by Justin Hill, being physical, using his body, using the defender's momentum against him.
Look at those legs.
Yeah, big time.
Could have played tailback at Georgia if he had legs like that.
Yep. Has the legs for it, I'm telling you that much. Mirambo checking back into the game.
Speaking of a guy who's got some legs, those are tree trunks.
Yeah, a little different style of legs from Justin Hill than Mirambo has.
There's Eder for Bridges. Georgia with the ball up 3.
Miami's gone away from, here we go. Offensive foul, a little impatient there. Both a little bit on the ball handle, a little bit on the screener.
So Bridges with his 4th. That's his 2nd time in this half that same call has been made against Georgia. That might be something that Miami saw in a scout and maybe an area where they felt like they could steal a possession or 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Those screen actions, and you got big men coming up, and screening is a full speed thing. It's not something you can kind of jog up. So you got to get up there, get set, and you create that disadvantage. Oh, we got MEKHI, LAIRY again. Almost hit there.
That one won't
But you create that advantage with the speed and the ability to catch the defense off guard. So we're going to have to work a little harder to get to their screening actions faster.
Holt for Roberts with a head fake. Nice move, and he's fouled on the play. Mirambeau.
Again, the Bulldogs right where they want to be right now, which is the foul line. They've slowed the game down and been able to get some points consistently.
Georgia 14 of 16 from the stripe. Miami 4 for 4. Well, that's a difference right now. Miami's made 3 more field goals and 1 more 3, but Georgia tacking it on at the charity stripe. Roberts now with 11. And just to reiterate, Marcus, he seems to get more and more comfortable every trip down the floor. And Georgia's going to need for Roberts to have a terrific season if the Dogs are going to contend in the SEC.
Yeah, without a doubt, he's one of the guys that Coach White feels like he's going to be able to rely on as the season continues to press on. Experienced player, skilled player, a guy they're going to be dependent on a good pick.
Yofan to Mirambeau. Big man driving in against Anselm. Yofan loses the handle. Lindsay with the loose ball.
Georgia getting out in transition.
Holt, header for 3. No. Lindsay, big offensive board, and the freshman stick back goes.
Yeah, physical. He's done a really good job of going up, rebounding at the ball's highest point with 2 hands. He's done a fantastic job. He's finally able to reward himself there with a finish.
8th rebound, 5 on the offensive end, and now a turnover. Georgia back in control with the ball up 7. And that action on the offensive window giving Georgia a big lift.
Yeah, big time, and they've rebounded well, but I think they've realized now that, there we go, a great drive there by Terry Roberts, but the offensive glass is going to be big for them to continue to control this game. Same thing with the defensive glass.
So the lead now at 9. Hard to play from behind the whole time. Miami gets as close as 2, but now it's Georgia 60 and Miami 51. And Terry Roberts making it happen. The dish, the board, Lindsay with the finish on the SEC Network.
Chevy Silver, it's got the power you want and the capability you need to the important work. Find this. Get a $500 cash allowance on 7-liter turbo engine plus current Chevy loyalty cash and unlock your code to claim.
Mr. Scrooge?
I can barely get receipt.
Need a better network. 'Tis the season to... You get a free 5G phone when you do. Your great gift, a tablet, a smartwatch.
Oh, yeah, for me.
Oh, Scrooge.
5G phone and another gift, like a tablet. Ow! Switch now to the Network America.
Georgia fans loving MEKHI LAIRY's victory over Tech. And now he's giving the Dogs a dose here tonight, but Georgia's pushed the lead out to 9.
We're from Evansville, Indiana, but there's something he likes about the Peach State. Doing a great job here tonight. And been one of the defining factors here for the Red Hawks and them staying in this game.
Getting as close as 2, the lead back to 9. Let's see if Miami's got another surge. That's the thing, when you're behind the whole time, Marcus, just no margin for error. It's hard to do that, I think, psychologically as much as anything.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, rarely when you see a game where a team is behind all game and ends up closing it out. So it's going to take incredible mental toughness for them to continue to claw their way back. But the good thing is they have plenty of time to do so.
Lewis has a shot blocked, but follows up and scores. Julian Lewis playing with the 4 fouls, his second bucket.
There we go there with offensive rebounding, a good way to get yourself in position to make some progress on the scoreboard.
Hill to Roberts, entry pass to Lindsey. Nice job hooking it around the defense. Georgia going with a smaller lineup here. Anselm with the screen. 3-guard look. Roberts left corner 3. That's good. How about the game tonight for Terry Roberts?
Nice stroke there for Terry Roberts. He's locked in and makes some good plays here down the stretch.
17 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. So Georgia leads by 10.
Georgia with some momentum and some energy here, trying to create some energy here in the stadium and keep going.
Mirambo, back cut, Larry in deep, floats, hangs, and it won't go. The foul on Hill.
Almost the end one there, but no surprise. Larry again making his presence felt, whether from 4 feet or 20 feet. He's been a problem for the Bulldogs.
That's a terrific kick from Hill. How about the arc on that triple? Textbook.
Able to get it up there, and if I'm not mistaken, it may have been the first 3-pointer of the half for the Bulldogs. Hadn't
yes,
been able
sir,
to find it, but always good to see one go in.
Well, Larry rarely misses at the line. He rarely even hits the rim. That's a guy you take with you to the fair. He can win your day at a teddy bear.
Well, without a doubt, beautiful left-hand stroke. He's having a great game here.
23 points is 91.5% from the line a year ago.
Terrific feats, very skilled.
I mean, that's one of those, Marcus and I, we love all sports. That's, you get over 90%, that's like batting 400 in baseball.
Yeah, that's a big deal. You know, you play 30-plus games and you're able to shoot a 90% clip. 9 out of every 10 is big time.
There's Hill. Hill going right against Larry, gets in deep, gets cut off, double team. Roberts again, floater from the line, in and out, no good. But there's the follow from Lindsey, a beast on the offensive window.
That's absolutely a great statement. He's made his presence felt on offensive rebound. Kyron Lindsey being very active here.
Well, Marcus was known as a great rebounder. 10 points, 8 boards, 5 on the offensive end from Kyron Lindsey and Larry. Little loose with the dribble, Georgia ball.
Yeah, rare turnover there for Lindsey, but again, he's been one of the ones for Miami of Ohio. He's been active. And here we go, Terry Roberts, and with a shot and follow up by Kyron Lindsey.
Georgia can be patient with the ball. Roberts with the drive, tipped away, loose ball. There you see great hustle from Lewis, and it'll be possession to Miami. And that's why they talk about him being Miami's top defender.
I'll tell you what, 4 fouls, and I've seen no less energy in him. He's gotten his hands on a lot of different balls, and he's just been playing hard. You know, fouls withstanding, he's a guy that's going to keep competing.
Coming up on the 6-minute mark, Georgia leads by 10. Red Hawks of Miami with the ball.
A little Aggie action here.
Mirambo, good spin move down the baseline. Head fake, it won't go, and the rebound is saved by Georgia.
Beautiful footwork there by Mirambo. Just couldn't get that one to fall. Very graceful on his feet.
Georgia with Roberts. Guarded by Mabry. Both these teams playing very hard. Lob underneath, Anselm catches. Mirambo with a block, he went straight up, principle of verticality. Larry on the run, through traffic, he finishes off the square.
Just a terrific move. I mean, they're feeling the floor and using the defender's momentum against them again. He's been terrific tonight.
65-57, good game here tonight in Athens. Little spin move, Hill gets loose and just does miss. Anselm with the board, a fresh 20 for Georgia. And the Bulldogs won't have to shoot until under 5.
Frank Anselm doing a great job getting an extra possession there.
Roberts, floater, no, but a foul, and Georgia going back to the line again. And you see that a lot after the board. So more clock runs, and you got to defend for longer, and you get a little bit more tired.
Look at Larry there, uses the right hand, is able to seal off 11. It's great, man. He's been a ball player tonight.
Mirambo with his second foul. Larry, 2 off his career best with 26 points, and Roberts, money from the stripe. He's 4 for 4, 18 points.
Yeah, both of these guys having high-level games. Both of them decided to turn it up and down the stretch.
And Roberts now with 19. The lead is 10.
Juice Holt checking in here for the Dogs, hoping to get some energy out of him.
How about this, Marcus? 18 out of 20 for Georgia at the line.
Yeah, that's not something to wink at. Again, we talked about 90% earlier. Georgia at that mark here with just over 4 minutes left.
Dogs by 10. Here's Larry and a whistle and a foul. This is going to be on Anselm with that show out high. Georgia had some problems with that at times a year ago, bringing that post player up with the double again. That terminology now called a show with the post player coming up. And it does leave a void in the defense, so you got to have the help, and you got to have that post player, Marcus, able to sprint back as well.
Yeah, right there, something that really happens with that show right there is you got to really be at the point of the screen. If you're going to flatten out there, you really give the point guard a chance to drag that big and give a wider space there in the paint for him to make a play off the pass.
So 27 points now for Larry. If he makes this, he will match his career high. What a player he is. MEKHI Larry, number 2. Had 28 against Buffalo, December 29th, 2021. So that was last season. And he's got it. Marcus, not even close to the rim on any of that.
I haven't seen one hit the rim yet. I don't think he's planning on it. The jump shots haven't been hitting the rim either, Jeff.
That's a guy, if you're playing horse, you got to have a different set of rules. If yours hit the iron, they don't count.
Yeah, he's active. Ooh.
Roberts, beautiful feed. McBride with the fake. Holt, McBride. McBride under 10. Back for Holt. The Georgia lead is 8. Holt with a nice move. Lindsay 3 times around.
Got a little bit of a toilet bowl finish, but Tyrone Lindsay's been active, and he's getting rewarded there with a finish there. He's up to 12 points and 8 rebounds here for the game.
69-59. Here's Larry for Lewis. Lewis spins. A low pass kicked out of bounds. It should go to Georgia. They're going to give it to Miami. I think the Red Hawks might have caught a break. We'll see. Great officiating crew here tonight. 3:58 to go. It's Georgia by 10. Home stretch on the SEC Network.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watched it.
That's so you.
Of course you know.
6 cents.
And a head-up display.
You brought so you.
It is. At the heart of 3.99% APR for 7023 on these Buick SUV models.
Tis the season to switch to Verizon.
Only Verizon gives you a smartwatch and earbuds, all on us.
Roberts with the only 3 in the second half for the Dogs.
Yeah, Roberts been a playmaker here for the Dogs, whether it's scoring and being aggressive or being a distributor. He's been able to help spark the lead here for the Dogs and has them operating with confidence.
There you see him get to the stripe, and Marcus, that's a difference right now. Georgia plus 10 and makes plus 12 in takes. The Dogs 18 out of 20, 8 out of 8 from Miami. And Larry's a perfect 6 out of 6 from the line, matching his career best with 28 points. And you got Roberts with 19. This is a great duel here between these outstanding guards tonight.
Yeah, high-level lead guard matchup. Terry Roberts, 19 points. But Kyle Larry's been explosive, 28 points, made all the right plays offensively. Defensively, he's been an issue as well for the Dogs.
The guys in silk suits in the other Clark County installed George as a 12.5-point favorite tonight, and the Bulldogs lead by 10. Here's Larry. That high screen from Morris. Now drives, a little up and under, Dipsy do it, won't go, but he draws the foul.
Yeah, beautiful move there, able to get a step on the big man, get him on his back hip, and use the rim as protection. Just excellent. He has great feel for it, and he's scoring at a high level tonight and getting to the line as well. He's been one of the only guys from Miami of Ohio who's been able to get to the free throw line with consistency.
All right, Coach Thornton, do you almost in a spotlight as a big man, it's counterintuitive. Do you almost just let him in, let him come on in, and then try and use your length? Because when he gets you in a foot-moving contest, he's going to win that one.
Well, you got to play geometry. You got to simplify it. You can't, continue to try to jump around with him. He's either going to take a contested shot or he's going to take a shot from the right side of the goal there. Issue there is got a little jumpy on his feet. Right there, Anselm, he was able to get him on his back hip, and that made all the difference.
We got protractors out tonight. Second geometry reference. 3:49 to go. Red Hawks within single digits. Larry's got 30. That one might have nicked the rim.
Yeah, first time tonight from MEKHI Larry. I guess it's a sign of him cooling down if he's hitting the rim now.
69-61, Georgia by 8. The trap broken by Roberts. Both point guards on the floor for Georgia.
Yeah, we see Georgia go to this when they're trying to limit their mistakes here.
Roberts from the elbow. Oh, there's Lindsey again.
He's been a beast tonight. He's really made his presence felt inside the paint on the offensive glass. Best game yet for the true freshman Bulldog.
How about a double-double? He is one board away. 6 of his 9 rebounds on the offensive end. And right now it's going back and forth between an 8-point game and a 10-point game.
Yeah, he's really kind of sped up the development, his confidence with M.A. Moncrief out. He stepped in, got the start tonight, and he's been playing at a high level.
Mabry now with 8, all in the second half. Georgia in a spot. Dogs would gladly trade baskets the rest of the way. Under 3 to go. Holtz brought some good energy for the Dogs. Roberts. 10 to shoot. He'll get moving against Smith. Takes a big step. Loses a handle. Smith with a loose ball.
Awkward exchange there.
The drive, the miss, and the rebound tipped out. Holt can't quite save it, so Miami will maintain possession.
Anselm did a better job of, again, you're just going to have to shoot over me on the right side of the goal, didn't allow him to use his body to get into it.
Foul situation. George has been whistled for 8, so one more in the 1-and-1. Miami for 9, double bonus for the Dogs. Both teams 2 timeouts remaining. Might have spoken too early as Miami is going to take a timeout, so this will leave the Red Hawks with 1. And right now, let's talk a little strategy, Marcus. Let's go inside the Georgia huddle with Mike White. I would think, number 1, you want the ball in Roberts and Hill's hands early in the possession.
Yeah, I think so. They're going to stay on the court here. They're the best ball handlers for Georgia, and they've proven that they can kind of slow down some of the turnover element there. And again, I think it's the same thing. They're going to want to get to the rim. They're going to want to shoot at the rim, and if anything, draw fouls and stay at the foul line the rest of this game.
And getting to the line, and when you're missing, you got Kyron Lindsey, 6 offensive rebounds, and we're going to take a look at some of his highlights and his energy. He's been relentless tonight, Marcus.
He's been a man among boys, which is ironic given that he's the only true freshman playing meaningful minutes tonight. And he's been terrific. He's been able to get in here tight and, just play close to the rim, play with good hands, and, be effective.
He's one of those guys, again, he's got 14 and 9. He's one of those players where it might not look spectacular for him all the time, but then all of a sudden after a game, you'll grab the stats, boy, this guy had 16 points and 10 rebounds, or he had 15 points and 8 rebounds. And again, that offensive rebounding, what that could do, my goodness, if you miss in close, give you those second chance looks, it gets the other guy in foul trouble, you make them play defense longer, and it just can be demoralizing when you can't keep the other guy, Marcus, off the offensive window.
Yeah, without a doubt. Again, like I said, man amongst boys tonight, he's done a great job. He has one of those coveted, kind of underrated skills, just a nose for the ball.
Yeah, no doubt.
Finding it in traffic. And one thing I've noticed with him, he does a great job going up with two hands and getting it. There's not been a lot of rebounds he's got his hands on he hasn't come down with.
Well, and there is an art to rebounding, and I think about two of the best of all time. You know, they weren't the classic centers. Now listen, Kareem and Wilt and Bill Russell, those guys were great rebounders. Moses Malone, Shaq. You're talking about Dennis Rodman, Charles Barkley, guys at 6'8", at 6'6", who knew how to use the body and knew how to play those carobs, the angles, the spin.
There's the third reference, geometry. Those guys understood it. Again, the knack for the ball isn't by mistake. It's it's effort. It's understanding where the ball is going to go, and it's just being relentless.
I'm seeing a segment with you in a white coat with a protractor and a slide rule.
I wouldn't be mad at it, Jeff.
Make it happen, Meg. Here's a three from Larry. This one won't go. Holt with the rebound. Georgia with the ball, up by 8.
McBride did a good job there, just staying solid and forcing him to shoot a contested shot.
Here's Hill. Hill guarded by Lewis with the 4 fouls. The foul trouble's limited Miami's top defender a bit here this evening. Penetration from Holt. Very smart there not to rush that one.
Very good decision there by Juice Holt.
Hill at the head of the key. 5 to shoot. Bank not open. There's Lindsey. Double-double.
Wow.
Turns it over. Georgia did take over 30 off the clock at least. Lewis. Smith for 3. Miami needs it, and he gets it.
Yeah, Georgia there just not able to locate all the players on the floor. Everybody ran into the ball, and they were able to get open 3 there. And here we go. We got a 5-point game with a minute and a half left.
Billy Smith with 4 triples. You talking about a 6'7" guy with that kind of range. Hill with the drive, left corner, lefty 3. McBride in and out, no good. But Georgia on the offensive board again. This time Anselm.
Yeah, that's been the difference there for Georgia. They've just been able to consistently be productive on the offensive glass and get extra possessions.
And Georgia doesn't have to shoot until right around a minute to go as Hill comes left. The show out high, a double team and a steal. Marambo, Larry, a head fake stripped away out of bounds. Dogs will have it with 58.2.
Ref's kind of in between there. Didn't want to call a foul. Also didn't want to reward the ball back to the Bulldogs. But
let's see if they're going to check the replay on this one. They will with 58.2 to go. Again for Georgia, these last 2 possessions, Dogs didn't score. But I think for Mike White's team, they at least took over 32 possessions ago and right at 30 off the clock that last time. The last thing you want to do there is take a quick shot or turn it over early in the possession. At the very least, they were able to milk some clock.
Yeah, they were able to shorten the game, and that's the goal here. You got a close game, a hungry opponent. You're on your home floor, and you want to shorten the game and get it over with. Best way to do that, rebound the ball, get long possessions, extra possessions, and then when you can, finish a possession at the rim.
All right, Marcus, put on your striped shirt now. Did Holt make contact?
I don't see contact there. He had verticality. MEKHI didn't get a good attempt at the rim here. Led with his left hand.
Might be able to see here.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's close. That's one I think it's going to be hard to overrule.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. Again, I mean, if the call is still going to stay with Miami of Ohio, I think we're just staying with the call as called on the floor here.
Now there it didn't look like he touched it.
Yeah, I from the jump I didn't see it. Again, I thought the refs were kind of indecisive. They weren't sure if they wanted to.
Yeah, it's going to be Georgia ball. So the officials able to get to the monitor. That's a good job. This is a terrific crew here tonight. Well, Landis Poole, Doug Shiles, and Keith Kimball. And you know what? That's a good job, just those guys communicating. And by no means has going to the monitor been overused, which at times it can be.
We see it in all the action sports. We see a lot of the replay value and slowing down games now and people going back and forth. But whenever it's used to get the correct call, I think that's what's best for all involved.
Just in a timely manner, please. Unlike the Georgia-Tennessee football. How was it not a safety?
Yeah, that was a terrible call, but that's a different discussion for a different day.
Here's Roberts in the forecourt for Holt. Miami, boy, they invested in a timeout called here by Georgia. All right, you're 14 seconds in. I think if you're Miami at this point, you don't foul. This is one of those where I think if you're going to foul, you obviously try for a steal. You do it in the first 5-6 seconds. I think at this point, Marcus, tell me if I'm wrong, you just try and D it out the rest of the way.
I agree. Again, you hit it right on the head. It's either a one-passing foul ordeal, or we're trying to get a shot attempt, a quick shot, or a shot right at 5 seconds or so there for Georgia, get a miss, push it down the court, see if we can't get a quick score and make it a ball game.
All right, 44.2 to go. If you're Georgia, are we talking about the same thing here? You want it Hill, you want it in Roberts' hands?
Yeah, absolutely. You see, they've been in the game. They've decided to ride with Hill and Roberts. We hadn't seen Oquendo much here in the second half. Georgia's wanted some dependable ball handling, and they've got it here, and they've been able to slow down their turnover count and kind of get the game under control.
And Bridges in the lineup as well, so we'll see if Georgia might throw Bridges and Lindsey at the rim, as the Bulldogs will inbounds with Holt. What a job by Miami hanging around. Georgia jumped to a 10-0 lead. Miami making it tight and tough. Roberts back for Holt, for Hill. Oh, my goodness. They foul with 12 on the shot clock. 18 seconds gone.
I think they were a pass or two too late on the foul there. Again, lost a few seconds.
And Larry with his 4th foul, double bonus as well.
Georgia did a good job there getting into their best free throw shooter's hands. They got Roberts off the inbound and quickly swung and found Hill right away. So they made a conscious effort to make sure they left it in their better free throw shooter's hands. Hopefully can close it out here.
Hill perfect from the stripe, 3 for 3. Ooh, he missed.
A good decision thus far for the Red Hawks to go ahead and take the foul. Still a 2-possession game, make or miss.
40.2. And if Miami can get an easy 2, let's say within 5, 6, 7 seconds, I think there's still plenty of time to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Assuming Hill makes this one, which he does. Georgia has been whistled for 8 fouls, so one more than the 1-and-1. Here's Larry, got to have some urgency, and there you go.
That's the guy they want to get on the free throw line right there. Juice Holt again, doesn't use his hands, but got to give a little bit more ground there to a smaller player. Can't try to stop him with your waist.
So Juice Holt with his second, and this is one of those spots, 91.5% a year ago. He is 8 out of 8 in the game. And this feels like free points here. If Miami can get these 2, you get it down to 4 without the clock moving.
Yeah, that's a win for Miami. They're able to get here. Again, you hit on it. Free shots for them. He's 7 out of 8 on swishes so far. So we'll see if he can get 2 swishes to go ahead and close it to 4.
Larry in.
Swish number 1.
Got to grade him on a different curve.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a higher expectation for his touch there.
9 out of 9 with 8 swisheroos. So here's the lefty Larry trying to improve on his career best 31 points tonight here in Athens. Swish, he's got 32. The lead is 4. And Miami here, you got to think, well, yeah, they're going to try and have Georgia make a pass or 2, try and get a steal. You foul early. Here's where you got to be careful, though. Larry's got 4 fouls, and I'm assuming Lewis will be on the bench here. They can do some offense, defense substitutions. But Miami in a spot where you foul, and for Georgia, 2 things to do, my friend. Got to take care of the basketball, make foul shots to close it out.
Yeah, you hit it on the head, Jeff. I'm sure we'll see both Larry and Lewis off the court. And again, it'll be a play to see if they can get a steal in the front court and, the back court. And if not, as soon as it crosses half, there'll be a quick foul, and they'll play the free throw game and see if we can't get a miss.
I want to throw this out there in case there was an overtime. In my opinion, I think if you go to overtime, everybody should get an extra foul. So if you fouled out, I think you should be able to come back in and get that 6th in OT.
Yeah, I agree. I was never a fan of trying to get somebody out of a game. I mean, it happens. It's good if it happens in regulation, you win the game. But again, in gamesmanship, I want you at your strongest if I'm going to beat you. So I agree with you there, Jeff. I don't know if they'll ever implement that, but.
Well, one of these days when I'm commissioner in an alternate universe.
Yes.
All right, it'll be Eder to throw it in. So Georgia's got Eder, Roberts, and Hill on the floor along with Lindsey and McBride. So a 4-guard look. Quick pass in, and Roberts will be fouled. And Lewis on the floor just drew his 5th. Wow.
Yeah, I thought for sure we'd see somebody else there to play the foul game, but I think Miami thinks it's all in right now, and they want their best defender out there to see if they can make a play on the ball.
So Lewis is plagued by fouls throughout the game and played well, but the fouls certainly hurt. So Yofan coming back in. And not to forget about Billy Smith, 12 points, 3 threes in this second half. He has been big for Miami.
Yeah, without a doubt, he's been big and kept them in it with timeless shot making. And, there's still a chance. Their game is not over, as you see. Got a missed free throw. Game still at 4, 2-possession game.
Roberts with his first miss from the line, now 5 out of 6. Roberts makes it a 5-point game. He's got 20, a new Bulldog high. Miami's got to hurry, down by 5. It's Larry. Larry with the dribble drive from the elbow. It's down to 3. He's got 34 points.
Yeah, he's been big time tonight. And again, he's just completely willed the Red Hawks. Just been dangerous at every part of the court, just been aggressive.
So Yofan with his 4th as Georgia walked to the other end to shoot 2. And you got to play off of him some because of the quicks.
He just did a good job getting to his spot, getting to his strong hand, and smooth pull up. Decent contest, but great player making great plays.
So here's Hill with 24 seconds to go. And Miami within 3. The closest the Red Hawks have been is 2. Georgia led 10-0, led by as many as 17. Hill hits the first.
This is Hill.
Hill with 12. 3 Bulldogs in double figures.
This is the guy that the Bulldogs want on the line right here.
Got a nice stroke. He missed it. Rebound to Smith.
May have spoken too soon, Jeff.
4-point game. Here's Larry. A screen from the big guy. He'll fire a 3. In and out, no good. Hill with the rebound for Georgia.
Good to see, though. I thought everybody on the red side of the floor felt like they were comfortable with that shot.
Mirambeau has a made 3-point field goal this year. That's a good stroke. It just didn't drop.
Yeah, good base, good form, and follow through. He felt like it was good. You could tell by he backed up and just rimmed out.
So the 5th foul on Yofan, and you get the minute or so to make a substitution. It's basically a free timeout. I believe Mike White's going to call timeout here for Georgia anyway. So it's 74-70. The Bulldogs with a 4-point lead and a couple of free throws coming here. Miami 5 feet under. What a gritty effort really from both of these teams, and a terrific comeback from the Red Hawks, trailing the whole time and had a 3-ball to cut it down to 1. Just rimmed out.
Yeah, the Red Hawks have fought hard all game. Bulldogs too. I mean, this has been a matchup in which both teams have, had their runs. And here we are, 12 seconds left. And,
wow, a miss.
Man, 4-point game, and we're still staying there.
Just hanging around.
It's not over yet.
So Hill with a second chance to make it a 5-point game, and Georgia's going to be all over Larry here. And he hits the second one, front iron, backboard, and bottom. So that is 13 now for Hill. It's a 5-point Georgia lead. Heck of a game here tonight in Athens. And they'll inbounds to Larry. He'll let it roll as far as he can. Now Lindsay will come up to meet him. He crosses midcourt with 11. Jump pass tip. Georgia's got a steal, and the game is in hand for the Bulldogs. Roberts bouncing. 4 seconds to go. And the whistle blows. A big defensive stop, Marcus.
Yeah, big defensive stop for the Dogs. The Red Hawks got a little careless with it on their last possession there, but they've competed down the stretch. It's been a high-level game.
Well, Billy Smith whistled for his 3rd, and Roberts will get to the line. 20 points for the native of North Amityville, New York. And Roberts hits the first. So Terry Roberts having a banner game. His career high 26 points against UTEP a year ago. And now he's got 22, a new Georgia high. 2.8 to go. He's got to run this one out. Mabry heaves it from midcourt, no good. And Georgia comes away with a 77-70 victory. The Dogs led from